Good evening. This is the dimension of unbelievability. It is an area which we call the Frauditor Zone. In today's episode, we find one failed YouTube law school scholar getting arrested, another one getting trespassed, and another one trying to make sense of it all.
I think he's gonna sit here and watch us.
Hello everyone. The situation here is, well, I have no idea. The video just starts at a gas station with the frauditor, Direct D, pointing out another frauditor named King George Wallen, who will shortly get arrested, while the rest of the fools, which includes a frauditor named Tempe Against Police Violence, get trespassed. Then Direct D tries to apply his YouTube law school knowledge to explain why the arrest was unlawful. However, YouTube law school is not an accredited school, and the teachers are even dumber than the students. So let's watch.
Tempe Against Police Violence. We're here at the QT US 60 and Priest. This cop is butt hurt because he got flipped off. Now he's sitting there trying to intimidate. Tempe just went up to him.
The person speaking is King George Wallen. Did I mention he gets arrested?
This cop is a supervisor for Tempe Police. Likely trying to call up some backup. Man, it's cold out here. Huh? Who?
I'm telling you right now, this is an investigation, okay, so you have to provide me with your name and ID. If you don't provide me your name and ID, you'll be arrested for your ID.
I got you.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you too?
For what?
Your ID.
For what?
It's the same thing. They don't want you on property.
Who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
The business manager.
They've got to come and tell us.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
On their behalf. Do you have your ID on you?
Why?
I'm going to tell them the same thing.
What's the reason? I don't even know what the reason. For what? Investigation. What investigation?
It's trespassing.
For what?
I'm telling you, I'm conducting an investigation. If you fail to give me your name,
I'm trespassing?
Do you have your name?
Am I trespassing?
I'm giving you a trespass warning right now.
That's a warning. Then that's just a warning.
I have to document.
We have to leave. We don't have to give ID. We don't have to give ID for a warning.
I'm telling you, I'm trespassing.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Do you know the laws? Yeah, I don't have my ID.
All right. Name and date of birth, please.
For what? A warning is you have to leave.
Right now,
that's not the law, dude. That's not the law.
If you fail to give me your name and date of birth, you're going to go to
You're gonna
jail
file. You're gonna find a lawsuit against your department.
Okay, I'm just telling you. This is your last.
And I'm just telling you
name
too.
And date of birth. Do you really want to go to jail tonight?
For what?
Name and date of birth.
For what?
Name and date of birth.
What the crime did I do? What crime did I commit? I'm asking you right now. No, I'm being civil.
Listen to me. This is your last warning.
For what? You have not explained to me what I did.
You will be arrested for
You have
failure
not
to-
explained to me what I did.
All right, my man.
What crime have I done? What have I committed? For what?
For me? Hand behind your back. Other hand. Other hand behind your back.
Grab my arm. What crime have I committed? For what? What crime have I committed? I didn't do nothing. You know I didn't do nothing. For what?
Failed your ID.
Okay, gather around, boys and girls. Direct D is going to impart with his YouTube law school knowledge about trespassing. This ought to be good.
All right, so let's do some simple reading and get to a better understanding of what it means to refuse ID to a police officer in Arizona. ARS 13-2412, refusing to provide truthful name when lawfully detained. Lawfully detained is a very important part of the ARS. Pay attention to that. A, it is unlawful for a person, after being advised that the person's refusal to answer is unlawful, to fail or refuse to state the person's true full name on request of a police officer who has lawfully detained the person based on reasonable suspicion that the person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime. Reasonable articulable suspicion. A person detained under this section shall state the person's true full name, but shall not be compelled to answer any other inquiry of a peace officer. This means the officer needs reasonable and articulable suspicion of criminal conduct or activity to lawfully detain a person before they can ask for identification. This officer inappropriately states he is conducting an investigation into a trespass warning and needs to identify them. But legally, that's not how trespassing or identifying somebody works in Arizona. These men must be given an opportunity to leave if the QT truly does want them gone. So, someone, either a representative with lawful control of the property or a peace officer acting on behalf of someone with lawful control of the property, must verbally ask them to vacate the premises. No ID is required at this point. If these men refuse to leave the property after being verbally asked to leave by someone with lawful control, this is the point when an officer can lawfully detain someone for refusing to leave after a reasonable request. All of the elements must be met before a lawful detainment can take place and then require the detainee to verbally identify themselves with first and last name only. No one has asked either men to leave. You watch the supervisor hop out of his cruiser and immediately demand them to identify themselves. This isn't even close to how trespassing or identifying someone works legally. Do you realize how sad it is that they can't even grasp a basic understanding of what the hell they're doing? It's pathetic we pay for this. It really is.
Now it's my turn. Now keep in mind, I'm not a YouTube law scholar. I'm just using plain old common sense for my rebuttal. I do not know what transpired before the video started. It was selectively edited by the Frauditor. So we don't know if they were asked to leave prior, and I'm sure neither does Direct Doofus. However, if they weren't asked to leave prior, well then you take that up in court where the real law scholars reside. Furthermore, while the ARS does state that the person being detained has to state their full name, it also states they have to state their truthful name. That is the reason for asking of their ID because, well, he got to lie to fraud it. That also avoids the stupidity of saying his name is Good Citizen or some other stupid crap like that. The Frauditor refused to give his name. Therefore, according to the ARS that Direct Dum Dum quoted, he is guilty of a Class 2 misdemeanor. So at this point, the Frauditor is guilty of failure to ID and trespassing since he has not left the property. Additionally, the officer did not hop out of his cruiser and immediately demand them to identify themselves. We saw the officer speaking to one of the frauditors for a while before even getting out of his car. Therefore, do you realize how sad it is that YouTube law scholars can't even grasp what the hell they are talking about, as they failed out of even YouTube law school? It's pathetic that YouTube is paying for that.
What? What's the what did I do? The store didn't want you here. So I'm trying to give you I know that we can act on that behalf.
Barrett, Boy Adam Robert, Edward Top Tom, First Darian, David Adam Robert, Edward Norm, date of birth 526 at 95.
We have to be trespassed by the management.
They don't need to talk to you.
They do.
They don't.
With a reasonable request to leave the property.
It's not true.
It is true. I've been to court for this. I beat them in trial.
Darian, do you understand that you're not allowed back on this property?
I understand.
including the parking lot
The,
and the landscape.
the management needs to come out and tell me.
I'm telling
I
you.
need a written warning that I
I'm gonna
am
document it.
trespassed.
This is your
I need the
trespass
written warning
You said
that
you
I am
understand,
trespassed.
correct?
I need the written warning that I am trespassed.
You know.
This is a safe place. This is a public.
You come back here after tonight, you go to jail, dude.
Give me my ID.
Violation, my fourth
I'm running you
amendment
right now. You can have it when we're
You're
done.
pissed because you just got.
You guys, George is being arrested. Yeah, he's upset because we flipped him off, so he parked right here.
I didn't do nothing wrong. You're a supervisor. You're a supervisor.
I know.
Okay, because the business said that they don't want you here right now. That's why the officers came out and asked you to, and your friend, to identify themselves. Because in the middle of a trespass warning, you do have to identify yourself.
Gather around again, because the YouTube law school dropout is going to attempt to give us yet another education.
Arizona Revised Statute 13-1502, Criminal Trespassing in the Third Degree, Classification. Subsection A. A person commits criminal trespassing in the third degree by 1. Knowingly entering or remaining unlawfully on any real property after a reasonable request to leave by a law enforcement officer, the owner, or any other person having lawful control over such property, or a reasonable notice prohibiting entry. B. Pursuant to subsection A, paragraph 1 of this section, a request to leave by a law enforcement officer acting at the request of the owner of the property or any other person having lawful control over the property has the same legal effect as a request made by the property owner or other person having lawful control over the property or of the property. What this means is a police officer can only ask you to leave if they have been asked to by the owner or someone with lawful control of the property.
Direct Dum Dum is a little bit confused and a little bit stupid with a whole lot of ignorance mixed in. Let's read it again. It states, knowingly entering or remaining unlawfully on any real property after a reasonable request to leave by a law enforcement officer, the owner, or any other person having lawful control over such property or reasonable notice prohibiting entry. Section B actually backs it up by stating that a law enforcement officer acting at the request of the owner of the property or any other person having lawful control over the property has the same legal effect as a request made by the property owner. That means that an officer can legally trespass someone on behalf of the owner, which the officer claims the owner requested.
Okay, so you're telling me that my officers are lying to me.
Get your ID on you, young man.
Once again, the frauditor uses edited video to try to prove his point. Let's look at a less edited video to prove he's lying.
Tampa against police violence. We're here at the QT, US 60, and Priest. This cop is butt hurt because he got flipped off. Now he's sitting there trying to intimidate. Tempe just went up to him. This cop is a supervisor for Tempe Police. Likely trying to call up some backup. Man, it's f***ing cold out here. Huh? Who?
tell you right now that this is an investigation, okay, so you have to provide me with your name and ID. If you don't provide me your name and ID, you'll be arrested for failure ID.
The frauditor was there for at least 7 minutes until a backup officer came, and then the first officer got out of his car. So much for just immediately hopping out of his car and demanding ID. In addition, again, we have no idea what transpired before the video started. They claim that the frauditor flipped off the officer, so the officer retaliated, but I didn't even see that part being shown. And we all know that if a frauditor doesn't show a part of a video, there's a very specific reason for it, which is highly suspicious and not trustworthy.
You are fundamentally misunderstanding what is going on here, right?
Yes, most YouTube Law Scholar dropouts and failures fundamentally miss what is going on with just about everything. That's why they had to turn to a life of frauditing. So that was the end of the video. They might want to reconsider going back and finishing elementary school and starting over the right way, but who am I kidding? That'll never happen.
If I only had a brain.
For today's Frauditor Fatigue Cooldown segment, it was requested that I do it on wolves. So here you go.